Hey, to whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worrying. I get it, the odds seem stacked back against the wall, but even consider it such, know you'll stand tall. Sit and watch from the sidelines, one too many times, wicked games we play, make me wanna lose my mind.
Hello, my loves. How are you doing today? This is video 1 of 2. I started the other one, but it was boring me, so I decided to come over to this one and see if it was any more entertaining. Enjoy!
So if you go on Kidney Che's channel, you see this, Amberlynn Reed's ex-Beck needs a triple bypass at 34 years old. If you look at the 2:13 mark, you can see her talk about the controversy, but she never talks about what the controversy is. The problem with her statement is her statement saying there was controversy and Beck left. That's not a true statement. That's a half statement. That's a half-truth statement. The real answer is Beck left the internet because her current ex-girlfriend, I don't know, her girlfriend at the time was caught being a child groomer. Now, this brought out some old videos. I think there's a video on my channel showing all this evidence, okay? There's a video on my channel showing all this evidence, so I don't know where it is. I'll try to find it and I'll post it in the community.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Why don't you post it in your community tab, Miss I'm gonna save everyone from grooming CA and SA? Like, are you kidding me? Why don't you leave Beck alone and let her live her life? Why don't you just let her be? Why is she always in your mouth?
Tab. But Beck also has her little problem with grooming children as well. Okay, there was this 16-year-old girl that Amber and Beck used to hang out with, and it was very sexual in context and language toward her, very gross. I still holding Amber accountable for that. She should fucking explain that shit. Why she being a grown woman hanging around with a fucking 16-year-old kid. But anyway, I don't give a shit if they say we're lesbian, she was straight. No, you're two adult lesbians going after a fucking teenage girl anyway.
Oh my God, I saw what she's talking about. It happened a long time ago, but I know exactly what she's talking about, and it wasn't disgusting and over-sexualized to my knowledge. If it was, I apologize, but I don't remember them being grooming, gross, sexualizing everything. I don't remember that at all.
But seriously, my question is to Kidney J, why didn't you call that shit out? Why didn't you say what happened? I know why, because it would make Beck look like it would make Beck look less sympathetic that she needs a triple bypass after.
So what, Shanny? So she doesn't deserve a triple bypass at 30-something years old because you think that she's a groomer and a child heir and all of these things? So what does that have to do with her health? Because I could say the same thing about all the horrible things you've done in this world and how you don't deserve any help with your health. What does one have to do with the other? If she needs a triple bypass, that's a pretty serious thing. But everyone's got to feel bad for you when you're going through your mental and physical issues, right? We all have to cater to your ass. But you won't do it for anybody else based on some online rumors that you heard. You're ridiculous. Not everybody uses their health to get sympathy and accolades from strangers on the internet. Only you do that. Only you and Jason do that. Don't forget.
Knowing she's not only covering for groomers, but she may be in fact one herself. See, this is my problem. These grown adults on YouTube covering all these horrible things these people do to make them look sympathetic because they're not on Team Amber or Team Foodie or whoever fucking team you want to be on. They don't tell the goddamn truth.
Oh, and you do tell the truth, Miss Breast Cancer? Did you forget that you were a woman living with breast cancer, MS, fibromyalgia, osteoarthritis? Same thing.
Me, I'm on nobody's fucking team. Yeah, I'm gonna stick up for Amber sometimes over the fucking shit she goes through. Absolutely. But I'm certainly not gonna cover for her over that fucking relationship she had with that 16-year-old girl when she was an adult woman. Now, will I? No.
I could have sworn, and I could be totally wrong, but I'm almost sure that 16-year-old girl was someone's cousin, either Beck's cousin. It couldn't have been Amber's, but I don't think you have any idea what you're talking about, Shannon. I think you just come on here so you have something to bitch about and make content out of, but there's no truth to it. In my opinion.
No, I will not. I question that very much. But the thing is, that's where it stopped with Amber. I didn't see her with no kid after that. But here's the thing. With Beck, on the other hand, here she is with a child groomer, someone who's had relationships with 14, 13-year-olds, and she's covering for her and saying, oh, we broke up because it... I didn't know, but she did know, because she was on her page speaking to her for a long time. A long time. So you can't go, you can't really get away with that. So Kenny J, why are you covering? Why are you covering for child predators? Why didn't you talk about it? Why are you trying to sympathize fucking Beck, knowing she's a child predator? Huh? Knowing she's covered for child predators. Why are you sympathizing? Huh?
What's the matter, Shan? They made an article about Beck's triple bypass surgery, but yet they don't make any articles about you and all of your problems. That's because you're so disliked that nobody would care if there was an article about you needing any kind of procedures or having any kind of illness or any of the lies that you tell on a daily basis, because you just don't want to accept the fact that you're 500 plus pounds. That's what I think.
I'll tell you what, I'm not going to sympathize with anyone who does that to a child. Or covers for that person who did that for a child. You're just as bad.
So, does that work when your significant other puts his hands on a child, happens to be your child, and then you helped cover it up by saying he was having a manic episode and it wasn't his fault? Isn't that kind of the same thing, Shannon? Aren't you a little bit of a hypocrite? Little bit, huh? Yeah, you are. You're a hypocrite. You let your boyfriend put your hands on your child and didn't say a damn thing about it.
I'm certainly going to point you out to other people that are known to have connections with other people to get rid of you. And I'll be honest. I, in all honesty, cannot have any empathy for a child groomer dying.
Oh, I totally agree, girly pop. I think that child herders should all burn in hell for all eternity. And no, I wouldn't want to save any of their lives at all. They don't belong on this planet, in my opinion. Just because we agree on something doesn't mean that you're right, though, Shannon, because like I said, you're a hypocrite.
I can't have any empathy for them. And someone who essays children, someone who harms children like that, no sympathy.
Oh, but you had sympathy and empathy for Revy Rev, didn't ya? Yeah, you did. You let him come right home and come right back into the house with the child that he abused. But you're going to sit here and you're going to talk about how you don't have empathy or sympathy for other people who harm children. Doesn't sound right to me at all. Does it sound right to you, Loveys? No? Didn't think so.
None. You know what you did with that 16-year-old girl. You know what you did. You know what you did to your stepsister wanting to date her when she was 17 and you were 30, Becky. And you want to garner fucking sympathy.
I don't know why you're going so hard on Becky. I really don't know what flew up your ass today and made you so angry at Becky. But all that happened is that news came out that she needs a triple heart bypass, which is pretty serious. So if you're such a Christian, and there's no proof that Becky's ever SA'd a child, why are you being so hard on her? Why? For what purpose? To make yourself feel better about how shitty your life is? Probably. I think you're just mad because nobody talks about you and your health problems, because nobody believes that you actually have the health problems that you say you have. And nobody talks about it.
You don't get it from me. You don't get it from me. I'm a mother. I know what I want to do to you if you did that to my own kid.
You're not a mother. You never were a mother. You're an egg donor. That's what you are. So stop saying, oh, if anyone ever did this to my kid, because you let that piece of shit that you sleep with do horrific things to your kid and you didn't bat an eye. He went to jail for 2 weeks for what he did. And you didn't bat an eye. You took him right back. Shut up.
Okay. So what makes you... I would sympathize with you for you wanting to do it to someone else's kids. Okay? There's not going to be any sympathy, you see?
I think it's pretty repulsive to mark someone as a child predator because of two situations that do not equal a child predator. You're talking about two totally separate situations. One when they were hanging out with a 16-year-old, and another one where she wanted to date her stepsister. How do you know that's even true? Where are you getting this as fact? Where you're so angry and so in an uproar that you're not gonna have any sympathy for someone who has to have a triple bypass based on rumors that you heard about them? How stupid does that make you look, Shannon? Did you ever think about that? Don't talk on things unless you know it's a fact. Otherwise, you just look like an idiot with nothing better to do than make these stupid videos. You look ridiculous. Shut your mouth. Nobody cares about your opinion. You're in no position to judge anyone.
You see? There ain't gonna be none. Good riddance. Good riddance. And the fact that these people are protecting her, knowing she protected someone who groomed kids and knowing the facts that they have over her grooming other kids? Okay.
I think the worst thing that you can be called on YouTube is a PDF or a child air or a SAer or a groomer, any of those things. People love to throw those words around at other people they don't like because what's more disgusting than a groomer or a PDF, right? But we don't really know that that's what happened. You're completely speculating, and you don't think she deserves any sympathy because of a speculation you made that you based on a rumor that you heard. Do you see why you're wrong? Even though you're talking about something that most people would agree with you on, the person you're talking about, there's no proof that they ever did anything to anyone. And please correct me, audience, if I'm wrong. If I am wrong, I will completely take ownership for it. But so far, there is nothing proving to me that Beck has groomed or CA'd a child. At all, ever. Just a bunch of dumbass rumors.
Okay. So be it, but since you're protecting her, Kidney J, I'm going to be looking straight at you and wondering what you're doing behind the scenes. And I'm going to be telling my 90s, my Allie's Army, what your name is so they can search you out too. Because I don't trust anyone who covers for fucking child predators.
I love how this idiot and her idiot boyfriend are the first to talk about all of the people that they're going to sue who say things about them. But this woman hasn't said the word allegedly once. She is calling someone a child predator based on completely not knowing this person and getting her information off the internet. And we're supposed to listen to this? Coming from this person, the queen of lies? Nah, not me, not today, not tomorrow, not next week, not 3 weeks from next Wednesday. Will I ever believe a word that comes out of Shannon's mouth? She just wants to point the finger at someone else so she doesn't look like such a horrible person. She's a horrible person. You lost your kid, Shannon. Stop worrying about other people's.
You get that? You get that? No sympathy. No sympathy for the scumbags of the world who goes against their whole humanity. No sympathy.
Okay, we heard you. No sympathy. We don't expect any sympathy from you, Shannon, not even for people who deserve it. The only person you sympathize with is yourself. And that is it. You don't give a flying shit about anyone, whether they're a child abuser or not. Be honest.
None. None. Not going to. I'm not going to. So why are you covering? Why are you covering? Why at the 213 mark you said there was controversy, but you didn't say what the controversy was, Kidney J? You know what the answer is? I was covering up sexual abuse. That's the answer!
So you're basing this off another person's video that you don't even include in this video so we could have any idea what the hell you're talking about? Did you think it would be a good idea to include that, Shannon? Because I do.
That's why she didn't mention it, because she knew what the topic was and she didn't want to go and say what it was to cover for people. Because normal people who don't like that shit won't cover for a fucking child predator and put sympathy onto their fucking girlfriend. You fucking freak.
Oh, girly pop. But it was okay for you to have sympathy for Rev because he was on Abilify and he was having a manic episode. So he just beat up my child, but I have sympathy for him? How does that work exactly?
Kidney J, there is something seriously wrong with you. That you know exactly what her girlfriend did and you said nothing and zipped your lips just so you could have a sympathetic video, just so you could be, oh, you're so good for putting this out there. You're such a wonderful woman. No, you're not. You're putting a child predator on there and saying she's having a triple bypass and we need to sympathize and give her money. Even though she had cancer before, too. And you gave her a bunch of money for that. Even though you guys have been, I don't know, scammed by the woman so many times and then they get the money and then they disappear and run. And don't do what they said they were going to do with the money.
How is this woman so dense that she doesn't even realize that she's describing herself exactly down to cancer and getting money and scamming people and not using the money for what you said it was supposed to be used for? Remember the Uber cab problem that he couldn't remember because you never went to the doctor after lying and saying you did?
These child predators, they do nothing but lie, murder, kill, steal. They don't give a shit. Because they're psychopathic in the head. And that's who you, Kidney J, are covering for. That's who you, Kidney J, are covering for. You'd rather have a video about her having a triple bypass than exposing her girlfriend for being the predator she is. You fucking coward. What kind of woman are you, bitch?
Well, Loveys, that was pleasant, wasn't it? Wasn't it? So I don't really think that there's much to say else about this situation. I think she made it pretty clear how she felt. I'm not even really sure what she's talking about other than the fact that Becky is getting triple bypass surgery and that no one is allowed to have any sympathy for Becky because she is a PDF, a groomer, any horrific thing that she can come up with because she wants that sympathy. That's all it's about. It's just the fact that people give more of a shit about Beck's health than they do about Shannon's, and that's because Shannon is a bad person. So, I am working on the other video. I said I would be able to get both up today. I'm going to try to get both up today. So I'm going to cut this off. Hope you guys liked this. Please hit the like on the way out. And I love you guys very much. And I'll be back very soon. Probably sooner than you realize. Because I already started the other video. But this one was shorter. So I figured I'd get this one knocked out. Because you know that it will take forever to upload. And I'm done now. So I love you guys very much. I will talk to you soon. And I hope you had fun watching this with me. As fun as it was. Fun topic. Good times. Get fucked, Shannon. Have a good day.
Hey, to whoever may need this nugget of encouragement.